image of Vladimir Putin standing shoulder to shoulder with Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un at Beijing's September 3rd military parade was more than ceremonial theatre. It was a deliberate signal, a reminder that Russia, though battered by sanctions and isolated in the West, is not alone. Putin's presence at the heart of China's commemorative celebrations carried layered symbolism. Walking side by side with Xi, he projected Russia's resilience. Standing tall with the world leaders, he demonstrated that Russia's partnerships stretch beyond the traditional fault lines of Cold War alliances. Smiling and exchanging nods with Kim, he sent a subtle message of defiance. Moscow can marshal support from powers the West cannot afford to ignore. A counter-narrative to isolation. For Europe, the optics were jarring. The continent has invested years in sanctions designed to weaken Russia's economy, coupled with a campaign to turn Putin into a pariah. Yet there he was, parading alongside leaders who together represent more than half the world's population and command vast financial and military resources. The choreography of Beijing's parade underscored this narrative. Putin's careful positioning, never lingering in the shadows, always centered in the frame with his counterparts, conveyed intent. Every handshake and glance was staged to emphasize durability. Russia, he was saying, is not crumbling under the weight of sanctions, but recalibrating within a new power structure. Beyond Ukraine. The summit and parade were not just about Ukraine. They symbolized a broader ambition shared by the leaders on display, the dismantling of Western primacy. These states may differ in ideology, methods, and even mutual trust, but together they recognize a historic opening. With the US retreating under Trump's America First agenda and Europe distracted by domestic fractures, Beijing and Moscow see a chance to redraw the architecture of global power. Putin's gestures played directly into this ambition. His relaxed confidence, leaning slightly toward Xi during the ceremonies, suggested a bond rooted in mutual benefit. His open-palmed handshakes with Modi conveyed inclusivity, a reminder that India, while cautious, is still indispensable to Moscow's global narrative. Even his interactions with Kim Jong-un, brief but deliberate, were choreographed to show that Russia can reach across the world's most sanctioned states to mobilize manpower if needed. Pragmatism over affection. What unites this grouping is not fraternity, but pragmatism. China and India supply financial lifelines through energy purchases. Iran provides drones and battlefield know-how. North Korea, though impoverished, offers manpower and political loyalty. Each gains something: cheaper oil, strategic leverage, or diplomatic shelter. The visual embrace of these leaders at the parade highlighted this transactional reality. There was little personal warmth. Putin's smiles were measured, not effusive. The collective posturing was functional, designed to send a warning to the West. While Moscow's war drags on, it still enjoys enough backing to resist isolation and sustain the fight. Europe's uneasy awakening. For Europe, the takeaway was stark. Decades of reliance on US security guarantees are now being tested. The sight of Putin in Beijing, welcomed with military honors, underscored that the Cold War's post-1991 order is unraveling. In its place is a more fractured, opportunistic alignment of states with overlapping interests in curbing Western influence. Putin's gestures, a firm handshake here, a confident stride across the parade grounds there, were designed to force this recognition. He was not just celebrating with China, but showcasing a counterweight to NATO, a force that, while fragile in unity, is formidable in scale. Conclusion. Putin's appearance in Beijing was less about commemorating history and more about shaping the present. The parade offered him a global stage to display not only Russia's endurance, but also his ability to command the attention and presence of powerful friends. His gestures, subtle, deliberate, and carefully staged, amplified a message to Europe and the US. Russia is not isolated, and the West must reckon with a shifting order it no longer controls.